I think the Oilers are winning. When I was in grade 10, there were two things I loved: playing football and dressing up in my mom's clothes. Well, there was a third thing, playing guitar, but that doesn't factor much into this tale. As far as football playing went, it was and still is my favorite sport, and I happen to be good at it, which might seem weird at this point. In fact, I made the all-star team for the whole Edmonton area in the fall of grade 10 as a cornerback, and one of my most prized childhood mementos is a trophy for most valuable player in our final playoff game that year. Incidentally, the last football game I ever played. As for wearing my mom's clothes, I didn't get any trophies for that. Because no one knew about it. I knew I needed to keep that as well hidden as possible, because as I'm sure you can probably imagine, these two things did not go well together. I did, however, practice wearing them at every possible opportunity, and I had lots of them, because lucky for me, my sister was a competitive swimmer, and so my parents would often be away with her for swim meets, and I was good at it too. I had going into my mom's drawers for clothes down to a science, the way a lot of teens master the art of stealing booze from their parents' liquor cabinet or sneaking in and out of the house without anyone knowing. I would scan the drawers and closets and form a mental picture of how everything was folded or not folded, stacked or hung in a particular order. This allowed me to return everything to the exact position it was before, and therefore not arouse any suspicion from my mom. Well, this one weekend, my parents were away for the whole thing at a swim meet, and I had a plan to spend as much time as humanly possible dressed feminine, and to try on as many things as I possibly could. See, I didn't have the vocabulary to describe this back in 1986, but I'm trans, as in transgender. And so the more I was able to feel feminine, the more I felt alive. And believe me, this weekend, I was feeling as alive as I ever did back then. I had taken most of my mom's clothes out and put them on the bed or various other places and tried most of them on. And now you may be wondering what I would do while I was dressed. And you know what? It didn't matter. Cook, watch TV, play guitar, do homework, anything. The most mundane thing you can possibly imagine became amazing when I was dressed as a female. Well, after a whole night and subsequent day of dressing feminine, I was at the height of my euphoria, immersed in the idea of being a woman. It was like I was in a completely different person in a completely different world, when suddenly I heard a knock at the back door. It was like I'd been riding on Falcor. You know that big-ass dog from the Never-Ending Story? And we're flying along, and suddenly he drops me back to earth. And see, the other thing you need to understand about this situation is that I had this weird thing back then where I seemed to think that the more feminine clothes I put on, the more female I would become. So at this particular moment, I had on 2 bras, 3 underskirts, pantyhose, and about 4 dresses. I remember exactly where I was at that moment. I was frozen in the hallway between all the bedrooms. Thank fuck I wasn't standing in the kitchen or my parents' bedroom where Ken, the quarterback and captain of the football team, would have seen exactly what I was wearing. I dropped to the ground and crawled to the ensuite bathroom of my parents' room where I could peer carefully out the window and see who it was. Sheer terror was my reaction, and never in my life have I undressed as fast as this. Dress after dress flew off me to the floor. Underskirts, pantyhose, of course, completely torn. Bras flying everywhere in a flurry of fear. And then, as I was completely naked, I encountered my next dilemma. Because now I have to get from this place to my room without being seen or heard. So I dropped to the floor. There I am, crawling completely naked through the room, across the hall, and into my room to get some clothes on. It was like I was in a military basic training scene from an 80s war movie. So I get to my room, I throw on some clothes, and I get to the back door. Hey Trev, you want to throw the football around at the park? A bunch of the team are heading down. Yeah, shit man. I'm really not up to it right now. Hoping to fucking God that Ken doesn't suddenly ask to use the washroom or something. Imagining him walking down the hallway seeing a trail of feminine clothes strewn everywhere. You sure, man? It'll be fun. Yeah, dude, I got a bunch of homework to catch up on. Like I would ever be doing homework on a weekend afternoon, right? Okay, well, see you at practice tomorrow. Absolutely, man. I close the door and watch Ken walk away as my adrenaline starts to release and I sink to the floor of the back hallway shaking and tingling. After I know he's gone and my pulse and mental state regain some sense of normalcy, I get dressed up again and begin to clean up everything and put everything back in its perfect place before my family returns. I made it through another near-death encounter with hetero and cis-normativity. Words that, along with transgender, I actually wouldn't weave into my vocabulary until decades later, but which have shaped my entire existence. Looking back on this near-death experience, one big question remains unanswered to this very day. Why the fuck did I even bother to open the door in the first place?